Welcome to Pearson Bryson. My name's Conrad. I'm going to share how to invest in OpenAI, even if you're not an accredited investor. So you already see all the difference on social media, technology. You can order your food and a robot will bring it to your door. OpenAI, an algorithm, has become the current future. So that sci-fi dystopian future you used to see on a Twilight Zone is now real in here. Automation and investing, it's a smart thing to do, but do your own due diligence. Of course, this is speculative, but here at Pearson Bryson, we are investing in OpenAI. The way we're going about it, either A, first you're an accredited investor, which through the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States governs how to become an accredited investor. I have many other videos that go into how to do this. I'll give you a quick run through. Either A, you pass the net worth test of being worth $1 million, not including your primary home. You are allowed to own real estate parcels, real estate property that's included in your net worth as long as it's not your primary home. Second, the income test. If you earn at minimum $200,000 per year and expected to earn $200,000 next year and so forth, as expected per year as an individual or collectively with your spouse or domestic partner, but primarily spouse, $300,000 this year and so forth next year and following years. Or you actually qualify by accruing and earning a securities license, Series 82, Series 65, or Series 7. The Series 82 and the Series 7 must be sponsored by a brokerage firm, a bank. You must have a sponsor. Once your employment ends, you lose your accredited investor status. And or you can also get the Series 65 license where you don't need to be sponsored. You just have to honor your continuing education hours and stay in good standing. There's many other ways. I don't want to use this video for that. This is meant to how to invest in OpenAI or other private companies, but we're using OpenAI as the frontier of this. So what's going on is OpenAI, Pearson Bryson, we're investing in them. The way we're investing in them is either A, first strategy, being an accredited investor. Second strategy that you can use even if you are not an accredited investor, or even if you are an accredited investor, is another strategy, is investing indirectly through Microsoft. Stock ticker MSFT. Microsoft is the company that you can purchase on the public stock exchange right now. If you purchase Microsoft, you're indirectly buying into OpenAI, but you do not own shares of OpenAI, and Microsoft does, but you do not. This is definitely speculative, but this is an indirect strategy. It's called an indirect direct, is what we call it here at Pearson Bryson. So we want OpenAI. So we're going to invest in Microsoft. We're also going to invest as much as possible on the private side, even though there's limited shares. It's not easy to do, and typically you have to purchase it through the secondary private market. For those that understand what I'm talking about, there's a secondary market you can purchase as long as you have accredited investor status governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, but the shares are still limited. So no, Google does not own any part of OpenAI. I've heard that rumor. It's a terrible rumor. They're actually a competitor of OpenAI. Elon Musk used to, he invested into the early portion of OpenAI, but he since has left since 2018. He was an early investor. He invested millions, not billions, millions. He believes in it, but he has left since 2018. Who owns publicly is Microsoft, and also SoftBank Group, which you could purchase through the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Stock ticker TYO is 9984. 9984. If you want to invest in the Tokyo Stock Exchange for Japan, you can, and that's where SoftBank Group, they also own shares of OpenAI. Follow them. They also have, you could purchase, if you don't want to purchase or can't purchase through the Tokyo Stock Exchange, which you can also go through the over-the-counter market. For those that know what the over-the-counter market is, it's essentially another market that the Securities and Exchange Commission has commissioned to allow people to invest in risky speculative stocks that have typically low volume, that are maybe worth under $5 per the Securities Exchange Commission. Any stock that's under $5, even if it's on the New York Stock Exchange, is considered a penny stock. So a penny stock, typically years ago, you might have heard of the movie Wolf's on Wall Street. Amazing movie though. They sold penny stocks. And there's been a lot of fraud, a lot of, it's basically the wild, wild west. I'll just leave it at that. But the point is that it used to be, if it was $1 or below, it was a penny stock. Now they moved up to, if it's $5 or below, it's considered a penny stock. As soon as it hits $5, it's already being scrutinized as a penny stock. So you can have a stock that maybe was worth $6, $10, or $100 on the New York Stock Exchange, and if it goes down to $5 or lower, it's considered a penny stock. On the over-the-counter market, you can invest, which is fine. There's a lot of companies that start off because they're smaller companies. They have low amounts of funding, and that's just the way they start off. There's less scrutiny. There is scrutiny though. There's less scrutiny than trying to go through the Securities Exchange Commission. Maybe for IPO, they go that route. There's different strategies. There's other companies that are from other countries, other continents, that are amazing companies in their country and continent, but that's their way of piercing into the American market before they actually finally form publicly on the New York Stock Exchange or through our exchanges. They have to go through that route. That might be an easy route for them. That might be a strategic route for them. They might not have the capital. Also, they're an international company, so they would have extra scrutiny that maybe they can't honor at that time. So it takes time, but they don't want to lose the opportunity, the golden hour, to earn income in America and pierce the American market. So a lot of different reasons. Just because the stock is in the OTC, over-the-counter market, doesn't mean it's a bad company, but definitely want to add more scrutiny. And a matter of fact, I'll say this, master hack. If you want to truly become an accredited investor and you qualify to become an accredited investor, I'll say, hey, before you even do that, get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, and join the OTC and start looking at speculative stocks and see if you can find good ones and test it. Because that's what being an accredited investor is about also. It's even scarier than that. If you don't know what you're doing, you take all the risk. Yet that's why you have to actually qualify for it. Everyone can't invest in the private market because it's basically kind of like the wild, wild west. A lot of fraud can occur. You can invest in the wrong company. It could be a shell company. It could be a scam, like it could be a pump and dump. Who knows? So before you even go to that, there's still some training wheels on the OTC market in comparison to being an accredited investor. Yes, there's a lot of great opportunities, but it's very complex. I'm simplifying it, try to say in an easy to understand, easy digestible way. But the point is, it's very complex. And you could be the most savvy investor and still make a mistake or invest in the wrong product and you're done. So the reality is, I'll say, before anyone wants to become an accredited investor, practice within the OTC market, practice on the New York Stock Exchange, do your due diligence, develop your sense of how to pick out a stock and follow it and be consistent and learn how to have diamond hands, not paper hands. Learn not to fold. Very important. I'll say use that as a training wheel, so the over-the-counter market can really be a great asset for someone that wants to become a true accredited investor. Hey, until you become an accredited investor, if you already qualify or if you think about qualifying one day, might as well practice. Learn how to look at speculative stocks and pick the right ones. That'll really grow your intelligence and your sense of direction when you go to becoming an accredited investor. But as I mentioned, we're investing in OpenAI. We're doing it in indirect direct by investing in Microsoft, stock ticker MSFT, which is traded on the stock exchange. And we're also going to be investing into the SoftBank through the OTC. And we're also going to invest in the Tokyo market. We're investing in all boards because we believe in OpenAI so much. We do see all the commercials on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I order food sometimes. I'm working late and I'll have a robot bring me food. Like, it literally rolls up to my door. It says it's here. It usually has a nice little cute name. And I take my food out of the box and it goes about its way. It's the future. So this is where we're at pretty much. AI, you can't really tell when a video is real or not. This is a real video. I'm really doing this. I'm human. This is not AI. But the point is, AI's gotten so good. Hollywood has invested into it. Tyler Perry, was known as one of the most successful filmmakers in history at this point, worth over $1 billion and everything, as investing in actually algorithms. Just want to give you some information. You can do your due diligence yourself. This is major news. So if you don't think OpenAI is going to grow, I mean, that's your own due diligence, we believe, and we're sharing how we're going to do it. And if you want to follow this, do your own due diligence. We're not giving you advice. We're just sharing what we're doing and how to do it. OpenAI is in the private market. It is not trying to public stock exchange, so you cannot invest into it. But what you can do, you do an indirect direct, invest in Microsoft. For those that might want to take a more safer approach, you can also invest in OTC if you want to take a little more speculative approach. That's a little more risky. And you can go, if you're a accredited investor, if there's available shares for you, that's another way. But typically you have to invest through a secondary private market. So OpenAI, that's ChatGPT, that's Sora. Just for you don't know, ChatGPT, Sora is owned by OpenAI Inc, which governs OpenAI LP, which owns coverage over the profitable side of OpenAI, because OpenAI Inc is a nonprofit, which that means if they filed a 501c3 to be governed as a nonprofit, and by them being a nonprofit, they can actually get a lot of different tax benefits, etc., and they're phenomenal. But they also have a for-profit side that's ran by OpenAI LP, which also is over the ChatGPT and Sora, which is priced. So right now they have a priced side where it's for profit, and the nonprofit side, OpenAI Inc, is what governs everything. So we're investing in OpenAI indirectly through Microsoft, MSFT stock ticker if you want to look for it, and also OTC. I left some articles below as well. Do your due diligence. Anyways, love you guys. Ciao, and welcome to Wealth, and let's keep on thinking right.